Hi guys, welcome. Today I'm showing you how to make this amazing vanilla cake, which in my opinion is literally the best vanilla cake you'll ever make. I've made this using sour cream, and I promise you, anytime you plan to make a vanilla cake, you will be reaching for this recipe. It is so incredibly amazing and super easy to put together. Let's begin. You'll start off first by preheating your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and first we'll sift in all our dry ingredients. So I have all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder and some sea salt that I am going to sift into this bowl, and I'll keep it aside. We'll sift it yet again while we are adding it to our cake batter later on. And now we'll start working with the eggs. So for this recipe, I need 2 full eggs and 2 egg yolks. So I like breaking these first into a different bowl, mixing it up a little bit because we'll also be adding sour cream. Now I love to separate my eggs using just my fingers. Make sure you're using clean hands to do this, and I just find it simpler. You can use a technique that works for you. You can use the egg whites to make other desserts like macarons, or you can just use it to make an egg white omelette for dinner. It's entirely up to you. So 2 eggs, 2 egg yolks, and I'll just whisk them lightly to break them apart and combine together. You don't want to incorporate air, you just want to break it apart, so it's easier to mix the sour cream that we'll be adding next. Now I'll add the sour cream in. It's at room temperature. You could use thick Greek yogurt instead, but I would recommend using sour cream. It just adds such a beautiful flavor to your vanilla cake. And using a whisk, just combine the sour cream and eggs together. The sour cream should break apart and become a really nice smooth mix. And this sour cream and egg mix will start to look a little bit like custard. I'm just going to scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl so you can see the consistency. That looks amazing. I'll keep this aside as well. So now we have all of the elements ready, and we can start combining them into our beautiful vanilla sour cream cake. I'm going to use softened room temperature butter for this recipe. I've used salted butter in this recipe, but feel free to use unsalted butter as well. And I've added that to the bowl of my stand mixer, and using the paddle attachment, I am going to mix this on a medium speed for about 30 seconds just to break the butter apart and to help smooth it out like this. I'll then scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl and proceed with the sugars. So I'm going to add caster sugar and some light brown sugar as well. Light brown sugar with the molasses content in it helps add a beautiful flavor and extra moistness to your vanilla cake, and I absolutely love adding brown sugar to this vanilla cake recipe. And throughout this recipe, you're going to be doing a lot of scraping the sides and the bottom of the bowl because what you want is for all the ingredients to be mixed really well together. You don't want unmixed butter streaks in this mix. And the trick here is to whip your butter and sugars for at least 10 minutes really well. They go incredibly light, pale and fluffy. However, halfway through, so after about 5 minutes, you'll stop your electric beaters or your stand mixer, and you'll just scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl. Then you'll add in your vanilla extract at this point, then go back in for another 5 minutes on a medium to medium high speed, and you'll keep whipping this for another 5 minutes. So after about 10 minutes, you can see how incredibly light and pale it has gone, and it has increased so dramatically in volume as well, which is exactly what we want. It is what gives our cake that beautiful texture. I will scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl again, and then I'll add this egg and sour cream mix. I'll add all of it in one go, but you can pour it into a pitcher and add it a little at a time. For this recipe, either works. I like to add all of it in one go. Then I'll start mixing this. I want to whip this for about 2 minutes. So I'll whip this for 1 minute on a medium speed, and then I'll scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl with my spatula, and then I'll go back in and mix this on a medium speed for another minute. So that helps bring this batter together, and it may look curdled and you have absolutely nothing to worry about, once you sift in your dry ingredients, the broken emulsion comes back together and it looks like a nice thick lush batter. So now we are going to sift in our dry ingredients, which we had already sifted right in the beginning of the video. So this is the second time that we're sifting it. It helps add an incredible amount of lightness to your cake. Now after you've added the dry ingredients, you'll pop your paddle attachment back on, and then you'll mix this on the lowest speed setting for a total of about 30 to 45 seconds. However, halfway through you will stop your electric beaters or your stand mixer, whichever you're using, and you'll scrape the sides and the bottom again, because you can see there are quite a few unmixed dry bits there. You want to get all of it, and you'll also go right at the bottom as well and just invert it and make it upside down so everything gets an equal opportunity to be well combined. I'll pop the paddle attachment back on and then mix it for another 15 to 20 seconds, and this has to be done on the lowest speed setting, and you want to make sure you don't overwork the cake batter. You don't want to develop the gluten in this cake batter, or else your cake is going to be really dense and tough. And your cake batter is ready, and look at how lush and smooth that batter looks. I am going to plop all of it into an 8-inch cake tin, which I have greased really well, and lined the bottom with parchment paper. I'll shuffle the tin around and then also tap it really hard against the work surface to help it distribute itself evenly, and then also release any air pockets if there are. And then I'll use my offset spatula and just spread it out really well, make it nice and smooth so that it bakes really evenly as well. The addition of the sour cream and the light brown sugar really is a game changer. It makes your cake so soft and so fluffy and so moist, and it tastes incredibly flavorful. You'll pop this in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 35 minutes. A skewer or a knife inserted in the center should come out clean. Once your cake's baked and it has this beautiful golden brown color, you'll let the cake sit in its tin for about 15 to 20 minutes till it's easier to handle. Then you'll run a thin sharp knife along the edges to release the cake from the sides, and then you'll invert it onto a wire rack, and then you'll invert it back again so that the top side is on the top, and you let this cake cool down completely before you serve it. What I like to do is have a light dusting of some icing sugar. You can also serve this with some cream whipped to soft peaks and with some fruit like fresh berries. I like to keep it really plain and simple for this particular recipe because I just wanted the actual slice of this beautiful vanilla sour cream cake to be the hero of this video. So you can see just how amazing it is just on its own. This is a cake recipe that you'll be going back to every single time. It also works really well if you want to make a layer cake, and do make sure that you're subscribed to this channel because I'll be showing a layer cake recipe using this sour cream vanilla cake recipe very soon. Look at that beautiful texture of this cake. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you again in another video. Until then, goodbye and happy baking.